What's going on, motivators? We got another video. We got to talk about Senator John Fetterman. It looks like his party is staying away from him, and they've been invited towards the Republican side. Let's get into this.
Fetterman. Okay, Senator. How big of a threat do you think this communist movement is?
Well, I mean, there's that phrase where terrible or bad ideas refuse to die. And it's very sad to see that kind of things being revisited in this kind of way. And a lot of these, these terrible groups like Code Pink and a lot of the other ones that are strongly aligned to the CCP, without a doubt, they're being financed. I mean,
that is very true. How many programs in the United States is being funded by the CCP? How many? That is a great question. Where's the FBI? I thought they were going to go ahead and unveil who's behind the whole backing of Antifa and all of those things. The programs that have those different groups protesting nonstop in the streets when they should be working. I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, at the height of ICE in Minnesota, they said they would bring those out for New York too and for California. Nothing have been produced. But the CCP, it begs to ask the question, how involved are they and who's taking money from our adversary to help fund the disruption inside the United States?
Professor Emeritus at Harvard Law School, Alan Dershowitz. Professor Dershowitz joins us now. Professor, always a pleasure to have you on American Agenda. Good to see you.
Well, thanks. I could easily be a Fetterman Democrat, but Fetterman doesn't any longer really have a place in the Democratic Party. Democratic Party has become the party of Liz Warren, who supports neo-Nazi candidates who have swastikas because they also think that wages should come down.
The Democrats Party is all over the place. They like people who hate America. Think about that. It's not just too long ago the Democrats Party was centrist, moderates. They're far left now, progressive. Anything that does not have to do with the United States, they're for it. All in the name of hating Trump. I mean, Republicans too. But why would you go so far left to people who preach things that they hate the United States? That's who we're in bed with? You got people from the Middle East who tout that they hate the United States. And then we're like, come on, you hate the United States. We're going to give you a place to stay. It's like all common sense have been lost with the Democrats. They make very irrational choices nowadays, irrational decisions.
To go back in history a little and remember that when Adolf Hitler ran in 1932, he ran for higher wages, full employment, and he actually produced higher wages and full employment. And several thousand Jews actually voted for Adolf Hitler in 1932. Look, no party should be big enough to incorporate supporters of Hassan Piker or the main guy, or I think even some.
Don't forget Alan Dershowitz. Hassan Piker said America deserved what it had coming in 9/11. This is an immigrant who came to the United States and he's enjoying the fruits and labors of the United States and what it has to offer. And yet he said it deserved those things. Who the Democrats are backing? The guy who hates America. Make those things make sense. Make it make sense. I don't understand politics anymore. I thought you could have a disagreement with the opposing side. By the end of the day, you're supposed to be loving Americans. And someone who does not love America, how could you bring them inside of your party? What are you doing?
Some of the members of Congress, Ilhan Omar, they are neo-Nazis. They are fascists. They are anti-Semites. And I can't belong to a party or be associated with a party that has that kind of anti-American, anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish, anti-Christian values. I just can't belong to any such party.
It comes down to something simple. He's pointing out all the different anti, which is true. If you live in the United States, you should love the United States. If you don't love the United States, go somewhere else. Enjoy the freedom of whatever that country has to offer. I don't understand how we're putting ourselves in such bad positions. I believe it's going to eventually bite the United States in the ass. It eventually will. Because you are implementing people into power who goes against the values of what the United States care about and the Constitution. Ilhan Omar has allegiance to Somalia. She's said it before. Hassan Piker has allegiance to another country, not the United States, but they're in here. How could you put those people on a level in society of power when they hate your country? It does not make sense to me. No other country does. It seems only the United States.
Some of them also love the very same things. They don't love you. They don't care about you. They don't care about your interests. And that's precisely the reason why letting your voice be heard in the primary system is almost as important, if not more important, because the Democratic Party's primary is...
America, we have failed the youth. There is no way the youth has not been failed. That people are not looking for research or doing their own research to know this guy doesn't love America, Hassan Piker. And you're going to listen to him like he's preaching good stuff. I would listen to somebody who is preaching good stuff if it's in good faith. That you're trying to bring good stuff to the United States, not hating the United States. What is wrong with our youth today? They have been too indoctrinated.
what determines the trajectory of the Democratic Party. If you're angry because there's people like Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema, people like John Fetterman.
Don't say the F word.
Not a lot of Fetterman fans in here. Well, he's no fan of mine either. He's always on Fox News yapping.
And
I wonder why they hate Fetterman. Because he's the only one who is somewhat sane in the Democrat Party. What he says is very true. You could hate or have a disagreement with somebody on the left or on the right. But at the same time, who matters the most? The American people. These are words coming out of Fetterman's mouth, which is very true. Congress, they should be able to come together and find a solution for the American people. Not for the lobbyists who pays them extra millions, but their salaries is like 100,000 plus, and they turn to millionaires in their time being in Congress. These people, they do not care about us, the constituents. It's time for the alarm to be raised, and people should start voting these people out of Congress.
I want you to understand, I identify as a Democratic Socialist, but I'm running as a Democrat because the system creates this narrowness. But there's a bunch of Democrats running, and we are not all the same. We are very different. We may share this label in this moment, in this system, but we are very different. So if you choose...
Very different indeed, sir. Some of you guys love the United States, and some of you guys darn right hate the United States. That is a big difference from what I am seeing with some Democrats.
Choose to register as a Democrat, you are not pledging allegiance to that party. You are using your power in that moment to vote for the person who you believe reflects your interests and the interests of the communities that you hold most dear, some of whose members cannot vote because they may be too young, or they may not be citizens, or they may be incarcerated. There are a number of people who will not vote for any number of reasons. So when you're voting for them as well.
If he's trying to protect the people who cannot vote, I agree with, and trying to do stuff for those, but he's bringing illegals into it. Like, these are not your constituents. What is wrong with those people? I'm telling you, the mindset and the policies, it's placed somewhere else other than their regular voters. It's not right.
Many of those things right now. And now there is kind of a small communist takeover in Maine. You know, Plattner, he's already announced that he's an avowed communist. He's made that statement and he put that online. Now he's going to be the Democratic nominee. So there is a resurgence about the socialism, and that's becoming more and more part of it. And now there's more. It's like a marriage of the Palestinian, the anti-ICE, the abolish ICE, and now turning it in to like an.
And this is what doesn't make sense. Those people hate the United States over ICE, over immigration enforcement officers. How? How? Make those things make sense. You hate policing. If you hate ICE, you're telling me you hate a police officer too, and you hate the FBI. All of them are doing the same thing, enforcement. It's not being handled according to how you feel it's good, but none of that stuff matters. Because their job is their job. And if you want to change that, appoint people who's going to change policies. How hard is that? There should be a time where we understood those things. The people we vote into power or the way we send people in Congress is how it's going to be as far as policies being enacted or being legislated. For some reason, somewhere along the line, we forgot about that. We forgot how legislation works. It just works by we going out there and being angry and creating chaos. No, it works by voting people in power to change the policies that you think are not right.
Orgy of socialism here, and that's sad because it's supposed to be about labor, like unions. I'm a proud pro-union Democrat, but the kinds of mess that you see are showing up in many of them. I mean, that is the worst impulses that our party continues. We just seems to can't resist those things.
You know, we love teachers. I've had so many great teachers in my life, and I've needed a lot of help.
Yeah.
But the teachers' unions are telling these kids, don't come to school, actually come with us. They stick a sign in their hand about socialism. Meanwhile, the test scores are at the lowest level ever. How angry does that make you?
I want to be very clear. Every child should be in school, learning, and getting an education. You know, it's like, this is not.
I mean, not the liberals. No King's protest. They try to get the Kings out. May Day, they try to get the kids out too. Why is that? I'm telling you, it's a control thing. They want the youth to remain dumb so they could control. Knowledge is power. And with knowledge, it helps you discern good from bad. And if you don't have knowledge, you're always going to be on the side of being dumb. And you're easily to fall into those trends as helping the Democrats protest for no reason or against values that you may have. I'm telling you, it's a sickness.
They're the best for now. Absolutely. Your kids should be in school. My kids were in school, and you can have beliefs, but I really believe that education is the most important thing, and that's a value that we can't forget. And it's especially celebrating some of the worst ideas that ever visited humanity.
When it's all said and done, plain and simple, I believe the key to all of that is to taking our youth back. But you could see they don't like Fetterman because he's saying the truth. The Republicans are trying to bring him over. Democrats hate him now because he's saying a lot of truthful stuff. He's not hiding it. A lot of Democrats believe exactly what he's saying. The only difference is he has the courage to say it. But because they want to keep getting paid and stay in power, they're going to go against their own values over and over again. And who knows? Probably lead America astray. Anyway, let me know what you think inside the comments. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to A Black Veteran's Perspective. Stay motivated.